Yeah, let's just start off, with your name, where you're from, how long you've been in this area, Clairemont.
I've been in this area before this was land.
Wow. Yeah.
I was raised in Linda Vista. We moved to Linda Vista in 1950.
Wow.
And so it was just a totally different world back there. I think the whole population of San Diego was less than 200,000. And it was mostly military. We had the Navy. NTC was,
Naval Training Center, Oklahoma.
Right, and,
yes, sir.
And we had MCRD.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a gun range, which is now UCLA.
Wow.
There was it was the Marines had a gun range up there, big guns.
Yeah.
The big ones. We could hear them boom. You could hear the Thunderbolts down in Mission Bay. Back in those days, they had the Offenhauser engines.
Uh-huh.
And we could hear them up here on the hill.
Wow.
In Linda Vista.
What was your high school life like? With Kearney, you went to Kearney High, right?
Yeah.
And you graduated 1960.
63.
63.
I had a brother that graduated in 59, a sister that graduated in 60, and I was the baby. I graduated in 63.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've been around for this area for a long time.
What was it like though? Graduating high school in that time. How was San Diego like when you were getting out of high school?
Oh, it was just a fun place it was the greatest place in the world to grow up.
Awesome cars too, right?
Awesome cars, but we never had to lock our doors.
Uh-huh.
Everyone knew your mother.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't get away with anything. The police, if we were out acting up, instead of taking us to jail, the police would take us home to our parents because we'd get more punishment at home. And they knew it.
Yeah.
And that was the world that we lived in. And we could hitchhike anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to the beach, you just go out on Linda Vista Road, catch a ride to the bottom of the hill, walk across the bridge to Rosecrans, catch a ride right to Mission Beach.
Wow.
And we would stop, back in those days, was at Presidio Park, there was the Old Town Tamale Factory. And you could go in that Old Town Tamale Factory and buy a plate of beans,
Uh-huh.
pinto beans, 3 flour tortillas, and a knee-high soda for 35 cents. It was a complete meal.
Now it's like $7-8 or something, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Times have definitely changed.
Yeah, and gas was probably what, $0.25 for a gallon, right?
Yeah. The cheapest gas I ever found was 2 bits a quarter a gallon. When I was a kid, we used to cruise. That's what we did on the weekends.
Yeah.
And everybody would chip in $0.25 for gas, and that would get us 5 gallons of gas, and you drive all weekend.
Yeah.
For that.
Wow.
But the cheapest I found when my son was born in '65, his mother was from Valley City, North Dakota. So we had a little Volkswagen, and we drove back to Valley City so that her parents could see the baby. And somewhere in Kansas, gas was 20 and 9/10 cents per gallon. So I stopped, and I could only put $1.50 in that car. $1.50 filled it up.
Oh my gosh. You don't want to hear what I'm putting into an Explorer or a truck nowadays. That's like $65,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's like one of your favorite memories growing up?
Oh gee, there's been so many. It was full. I just had a full child. It was just, I'll tell you something. This is something that nobody else on the planet has this. She was just over here yesterday. In fact, she brought me 2 t-shirts yesterday. But I have a friend, her name is Shearer now, Jerry Shearer. And her and I started school early. Because of your birth date depended on when you started school.
Yeah.
Most of the kids started when they were 5 years old in kindergarten. Jerry and I both were 4.5 when we started school.
4.5.
4.5 years old.
Okay. So you did, okay, wow.
We were 4.5 years old.
Yeah.
And I've known this woman for 70 years. And we're still friends today. And I know so many people that I have so many friends that I've had for over 50 years. Nobody on the planet has that.
No, that sounds like you're a really fun person to be around. I mean, I haven't even known you that long, and we're kind of hitting it off already, you know? Do you have, any advice to give to, folks younger than me, my generation, or folks younger than me, like some morals or values that, you don't see kids using these days?
Well, I have a wonderful quote that this comes from an alcoholic, okay? And I've been in recovery since 1988.
Okay.
So I've been playing this recovery business for 32 years now.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bob was the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. And he wrote a little prescription pad, and his whole prescription was, he sums the whole thing up beautifully. 3 sentences. Trust God, clean house, and help others.
You certainly don't see people trusting in God or helping others these days, that's for sure.
You ask for advice, that's the best I got.
No, hey, I agree with that. I wish, some people would stop looking at just science and just saying, that has all the answers or whatever. Because I don't know if you've heard this term, but either when the plane starts shaking or when the bullets start flying, there's no atheist,
Yeah, we used to say there's no atheists in the foxhole.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, do you go to church around here, or do you not anymore?
No, I have a little niche back in my room where I meditate.
Okay.
I got my own little altar and my own little private place, and I'm a very private person.
That's good. Yeah, you don't have to be public about your faith or anything. You don't have to
shove
down other people's throats.
As I had a sponsor one time who, in the beginning, a lot of people, for people in recovery, they have a real hard time with the God word. Okay, they have a real hard time because they had some bad experiences as a child or whatever, and but they have a hard time with it. But I had a sponsor who said to me, "There is a God, and you're not it."
Yeah.
Okay, get out of yourself.
Yeah.
Get out of yourself. All my sickness was right between these ears.
You are your own worst enemy.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
What kind of music do you like, Alex?
Man, my music taste has changed, but I was brought up on like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles type music, and then I me personally, I got more into like the hard rock type stuff. But recently, I've been really getting back into oldies and country and all that, So I've been really messing around with that stuff, and especially going into the service, a lot of guys like country, but
they like 2 kinds of music.
Yeah.
Country and Western.
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to everything.
That's good.
The reason I ask you that, in recovery, are you familiar with Aerosmith?
Yeah.
And Steve Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
And a fellow named Richie Supa was in the band. Do you know Richie Supa?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Richie, they're all in recovery now.
Uh-huh.
They're all addicts. And Richie wrote a beautiful album, and it's titled Enemy. That's the title song, Enemy. I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a CD before you leave here.
Oh,
I
awesome.
hope you got a CD player in your car?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. The lyrics to the first song, the CD starts out, I'm an addict in recovery, my name's Richie, this is my story. And the lyrics to the first song is, you can't call it living while you're busy dying.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful music and great lyrics. They opened up, they have a recovery center, a treatment center, recovery center, and it's called Recovery Unplugged. And they got one in Austin, Texas, and they have one in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I think they just opened up another one somewhere up north. But it's all music recovery, and it's awesome.
Nice.
You'll like it.
All right, I will. Do you like the Eagles or Jackson
Eagles,
Browne? Or?
The Eagles' Long Run album is probably the best album that come out of the 70s. Probably the best.
You wouldn't probably be the only one saying that then, because I know a lot of people that like the Eagles and all that. Yeah.
Well, I worked as a stagehand. I did lights and sound and staging for theatrical productions.
Yeah.
And I did a tour. I did. Actually, let's see, about 13, let's see, January, I did 15 months with a show called Beatlemania.
Uh-huh.
And for